Welcome back, everybody, to Shadow of Israphel number 20.
Our podcast is so great.
Yeah!
I'm Gina here with all of my friends, except for Ross, who couldn't make it this time. But it could have been worse. It could have been a Rossless, Milnakless, Birchless episode.
The Wirt Gina show.
It could have been Freddy 5 Bear.
I don't know, were you there last Thursday, Birch? I thought you were already gone.
No, I was already gone.
So that would have been that time. Alright. Well,
I've been here last episode.
a lot
I'm sorry,
happened.
everybody. I didn't get to say about the animation and shit. So
right, the animation. You weren't there last week.
I was
for
there,
the
and I was like,
insane
well,
one.
I watched it, and I was going crazy, and like, I got attacked by demons, I think.
That was so cool what happened with old Peculiar's father and his
All
grave and
Peculiar
stuff.
W.
I hope that they keep up the timeless fun and
the
like
wonderful
quality,
the beauty.
Yeah.
the beautiful animation, the utterly epic animation. I hope that
was
continues
literally
on.
so awesome sauce.
Oh.
Now we're reviewing Shadow of Israphel Part 11, The Crumbling Ruin.
Whoa. That's me being scared.
That was the
February
most
10th,
scared.
2011, the scariest time of year. It has 3.5 million views. They were packing them in. So last time, it's been a second for us. Mistral City was set on fire.
It happens.
After that cool animation underground, it turned out they came up. Mistral City had been burned to the ground. They had to save the holy record from the church for a quest. And everyone was mysteriously absent. And Granny Bacon cried out for help. They also robbed Daisy's dad's shop.
That was so mean and cruel. How could they do this to Daisy's
They
dad?
just love robbing the Duke family. Jasper and the Duke family have suffered more at the hands of these two than anyone.
Honest to God.
More than they've suffered, and quite a bit. But yeah, Granny Bacon cried out for help. She was taken into an evil castle. Old Peculiar ran into a giant skull. And yeah, now they have to rescue Granny from the evil cult of Israphel. That's taken her into the castle.
They have to save Granny Bacon!
The splash at the opening is a very pointily bearded fumble mirror. And he
He's
says,
pointily.
shit, while the Yogscast banner's on fire. Kind of a meta reference to the fact that he sets everything on fire, including the
fact that
branding.
He's a bit of a shit wizard.
He's an epic
The fact that he
wizard,
says
bro.
shit. They're trying to find a way in. How could they ever get in through the iron door? There's no way!
The Iron Door!
I can't believe that it's never really struck to me that the iron door, despite how incredibly impassable and insurmountable it is, how you can't even right click to open it, you can craft something with a single block of wood or a single piece of stone
needs
that
one,
will
bro.
automatically open any locked door.
Yeah.
It's
Any
almost sort of pointless.
It's for decoration. It's for the
It's-
RPG.
Yeah, it's
vibe,
really
bro.
only
They
for,
gotta
like,
play by the rules.
Keeping out mobs and adventure maps really is its own
Yeah, it
maps.
really is an adventure map thing. But first off, their first idea is to blow up the door. Well, that was Simon's idea. He says, fuck it, let's just do this the Yogscast way, Lewis. Get out of the way! 45
Really did.
seconds in, and there's been the TNT explosion.
That's par for the course. I almost said pogs for the course instead of like yawn.
And then I laughed really hard because he blew up the iron door, but then they walked like down a small flight of stairs, and there were another set of iron doors further in.
They were really wanting to keep people out.
I do want to shout out to Simon saying, I wish old Peculiar was here to help us, but we're now going out on our own. We're like baby birds,
Baby
Lewis.
birds, and they must
Kicked
learn
out
how
of
to
the
fly.
nest. And now, Lewis, we need to learn how to fly.
Learn how to fly.
It was so poetic.
What the
I
baby
did
birds
miss
need to
all
learn
of
to
it.
do is to nerd pole.
This is what I'm teaching
Uh,
my baby son to do.
Simon sees there's a sheep in like a weird adjacent pen made of cobblestone next to the castle. And he's like, oh my god, there's a cultist! There's a
I was
Cultist of
really hoping it
Israphel!
They're even indoctrinating the animals.
These
Can't
poor
fucking
animals.
believe
They don't know anything. These poor animals.
Yeah, bless him. Simon realizes now, after all that, this is when they're like, I guess we could just make a lever. He just really just completely makes the scary, ominous iron door feel almost foolish and ridiculous. But it's really not that scary. It's not so... Sorry, I said it's
Simple.
really scary when they get in. And it's a stone room with 2 lava waterfalls flowing on either side of the passageway.
11-year-old me knew that once they had the lava fire, like the lava waterfalls, you knew that shit. The lava falls, that shit was crazy. You knew you were in the scary world.
That's like Bowser's Castle type of shit. It's something that he would do. They see that there's levers on either side, and that's just the door. That's just how you open it from the inside. They also could have mined through the wall. That's also a technique they could have used, but I'm glad that they had more creative solutions.
Yes.
I'm glad.
They find an ominous sign over the tunnel. It says, "Abandon all hope, all ye who enter ye here."
It's true, they did say that. It was scary.
I hear on the dirt sheets and the rumors that they got the quote wrong. Ross says, like, unless they were trying to be legally distinct to something that's been the public domain for longer than the public domain has existed.
Help!
Yeah, and then then I say, I hope this dark tunnel goes on a really, really long time.
I hope it never ends. I hope this is the entire episode, I said.
They do even say in the episode, oh, I love going through dark tunnels that you don't know where they're leading.
It's their favorite
so
thing to
much
do.
It's their favorite thing. I wish that this also was a tunnel that led back to Terravale. I wish that it all came full circle.
God, if
It would have
only.
been very poetic.
Yeah.
And they could meet Mr. Duke and Bob, who were going on their adventure. So they find a spawner in the dark, and they go, eek!
Yikes!
That's
I
scary.
thought there was a Skeleman, but it was simply Honeydew and his mighty archery. It was a friendly archer.
Yes.
Mighty archery.
grew.
Simon has pretty good aim.
Honey.
Yeah, Simon is like, he's actually, he's more of an archer than he is a true warrior. He's actually a cool sniper rogue, even though he wants to be like a barbarian dwarfman.
He can, like, multi-class. It's okay.
That's true.
I hope you're looking at Ross's stuff, because I feel like my brain's splitting in two trying to look at Ross's notes and mine at the same time.
Just pick one. You want me to read them?
Okay. Well, yeah, I just chime in if you see something funnies in a moment. It's like
Something
Ross is
funny
still
also.
here.
I'm trying to remember what I wrote here. Like, I can kind of infer as to what I meant, but I wrote, should have made some arrows hollowest or taken them from Jasper, which I can think was like...
No, because Lewis's inventory is full of bullshit and, like, pieces
Yeah.
of cloth, and people in the comments were all talking about, man, it sure sucked how Lewis put those arrows away to make room for the garbage in his inventory. It's like, come on. This is the
He's
moment.
like, I could have really used some arrows right now, because Simon's the
Yeah,
one
because
doing
as
all
soon
the
as they
work.
beat the spider, the creeper starts walking out. And it's like, arrows. And Simon's like, oh, I just literally just now run out. Luckily,
yes,
it did
yeah.
only minimal damage to our heroes.
And then I
God.
and this really made me think, what did we do before shields? Because skeletons really suck to fight.
Skeletons really
Oh.
suck to fight so much.
Shields
I
are
hate
everything.
Even like
Skeletons.
these days, I hate skeletons. I could not
I
imagine.
don't know.
back
We should
today.
go play old Minecraft and see how they survived back then.
It's like
Maybe they
the
just had like a
buttons.
slower fire rate or something.
Yeah,
don't
I have
know.
to assume the bow worked differently or it did less damage or something, which is ironic because back then the bow was like a machine gun for the players.
Yeah.
It did not have a slower fire rate. It was actually rapid, but for the skeletons, it was slow.
I miss those days. We need the machine gun bow back. In these
True.
trying times,
Maybe we can get
Please.
in the Pale Creaking or whatever the fuck. The
The
next
creaking
Minecraft update is
skull.
not the Pale Forest Creaking.
The creaking
Oh,
skull.
man.
Also, Lewis realizes, like, only after the creeper encounter, he should be using his gun. It's like, oh, yeah. So Lewis is also carrying an inferior sword instead of arrows.
Yeah.
I so appreciate that I just introduced the concept of a gun, and now it's just like, yeah. Because it is what it is. Like,
It's an ultimate killer sword.
yeah.
Lewis just wanders into pitch black darkness. Come on, man.
Come on,
And then
man.
he finally lights up a torch and like, okay, there you go. Lewis's torches are a little crazy in this segment upcoming here. It's he went a bit frantic with it.
He started getting scared again.
He's a little
Yeah, there was a
frightened.
skeleton. He easily kills it with his gun. he kills it with his gun, and Simon goes, "Blimey!" There's like 5 skeletons,
There's a lot.
and they all start hitting each other. They shoot a creeper.
The
A
cult
creeper
is at
explodes.
odds.
This is the most action-packed episode yet.
Yeah, forget last
There's-
episode. This is it.
They're in a huge dungeon, like an evil dungeon room. There's jail cells everywhere. It's like some kind of a prison, I guess. The thrumming of the bow is all around them. It's so scary. Lewis is like quibbling, like, "Oh, there's too many monsters, friend. Look, just stop whining and kill them for Christ's sake."
Literally, it was insane.
Thank
So
you,
funny.
Simon. Thank you. This is what we've been saying.
He starts freaking out and he starts using the golden sword!
Girl, we've been knowing not how to cower away.
Simon's like, come on, we're all tooled up. You literally are. You have full armor this time. It's not just like they've never had armor before, really. I mean, they have diamond armor before, but they have full sets. They have all the tools to do this. Stop getting scared.
It's
You
so
have
funny.
food too.
I was waiting. Did they ever pull out the diamond sword? I don't remember.
They got it. Lewis got it out. He's like, oh, I should be using my diamond sword.
For a second, I thought it was chilling in his inventory for a while, and I was just like, "Bro, your diamond sword. You're kitted out in like iron armor. You're kind of a bad bitch, and I need you to like pussy up." You know
Ross
what I mean?
says, "Oh God, the skeletons look so scary in this. They look
skeleton
just like
appeared."
proper creepypastas." Yeah, Ross reflects on how tense this is. This is scary. There's a lot. They see a creeper in a cell, and Ross notes they're like, "Oh, I wonder if it's Mr. Astley." It's like, do not
Oh.
take Mr. Astley's name in vain, you murderers.
It's
Thank
just
you, Ross.
it's so okay. I have something to say about that. Which
Can I say something? Mill, whenever we're
Absolutely,
talking about
absolutely.
Mr. Astley.
or
No,
Wait,
I
I'm
was
sorry.
saying you. You're like, can I say something? That meme image whenever Mr.
Oh.
Astley's mentioned.
listen, it's just like listen. I'm sorry. They're so mean to him, and for why?
They're quite mean to him. I read a fan fiction about Mr. Astley and how he changed his ways. It was a tragic story where he like ruined the relationship between 2 brothers when he destroyed their build, and
Oh.
he was like, I should become a reformed man.
That's
But then
okay.
Lewis tried to kill him.
Yeah, it's like, okay, my issue, and I've said this before, I'm simply repeating myself. It's like, wow, how fatalist, you know? Why are you assuming that Mr. Astley cannot
He
change
must
his ways?
destroy. He must destroy. You think this is his inherent nature? It's not true.
It's
He
not
can
a-
change.
Not true.
We can't
Shame.
we can't
He was just
resign him as
defending
a
himself.
destroyer.
It was instinct.
You
It's so
scared
funny.
him.
He was scared. And now Lewis is wasting 500 torches, placing them all on the floor directly next to each other. Simon said, when they're fighting, Simon says it's like doing those bloody 4 towers again. That must have been one of their great adventures that we missed. The 4 towers.
4 of them.
Things seem to be slowly calming down. There's bones all over the place. The carnage they've wrought. Lewis wastes 1,000,000 torches lighting up a spawner. He's panicking. They proceed towards Granny Bacon, who's there. She's in a cell. It's just been so crazy. I haven't even mentioned it yet. She's like,
It is
she's
insane.
she's in one of the cells, not next to Mr. Astley. She's got her own cell.
She got her own
It's
thing going on.
visible in the distance. They're making their way. Lewis apologizes for all the adrenaline and says he's spazzing out, which I think
Mhm.
might be a slur over there. Sorry
Yeah.
to say.
'Cause
Yeah.
I remember
Sorry
that
to
'cause
say.
it's in Mario Party. They had to change it over there because they
Tick it up. Tick up the counter.
Ding 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 ding.
well
I don't know what we're at. I should really do a count. I know. But they went a really long time without slurs. Lewis used an autistic slur in the original. Simon said the R slur on episode 2 of Shadow of Israphel. They said, oh yeah, they called Jasper a slur. So we're at like 3 or 4, maybe 5. I don't
Yep.
remember.
They were-
And they're gonna manage to do a lot without even saying a slur.
They were doing so good.
Simon commands Lewis to take them out, and he does. I guess they're talking about the monsters. Simon is able to give him the strength. He's saying it's not very responsive, as if it's the lag's fault and not his like panic and fear and his inferiority. But then after they like clear the room finally, like, oh man, we totally destroyed those guys. It's nice for them to build some confidence and realize that they don't have to be so terrified. I think that's nice.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
They're not noobs anymore. They're powerful. They're pros.
They're pro gamer.
But then Granny Bacon goes.
Those are normal noises, I thought.
I don't think grandmas should make those noises.
Ross quotes
okay.
Ross quotes exactly the thing that she typed and said, "What do you mean by that?" They celebrate but that she's there, but Simon like pauses just before throwing the lever, and he's like, "Let's open the door, man. Should we? What if she's been afflicted by the taint?" And Lewis then just walks up and opens the door. La la la.
Literally me.
But then Granny Bacon starts crouching and hobbling towards them, and instantly Lewis regrets what he has done. Lewis, I'm freaking out. I'm freaking out as well. Look at her. Look at her. See, I bloody told you. What if there was something wrong with her? Look at her. And the two brave heroes in full iron armor cower in fear of this old woman slowly walking towards them.
Listen, it was a good effect, but also like, yeah, they were just kind of running away from.
It's like eerie and ominous. Like, why is she so scary? Why isn't she making an innuendo right now? Granny, this isn't you.
They straight trying to put her in a dirt prison, but she knocks it down.
Just busts through.
That was kind of.
There's nowhere to run.
10 times Simon the wind door did not work.
Women were being affected. It's
Simon opening a cell to hide from her, and then Granny walks over and closes him inside.
It's funny because she's pretty like, I'm evil now, but it was still funny. Like she's like the conscious thought, like keep him locked up.
Get him in there.
Get him there.
Oh, Lewis has been abandoned to the slime. They're freaking out like kids playing Roblox next bot lobbies. It's like they're so horrified. They're just running in fear. Simon suggests that they should talk to her, and Granny goes, "Urgh." Simon asks if everything's okay, and then Granny hits him. She hit me.
With some meats.
Hit me with bacon. Lewis says he might have to fight back, but it's Granny. Think of all the sex they've had in global chat.
It was so painful.
See if you can knock out of a trance. Just hit her. Okay. Forgive me. And Granny walks towards Lewis and No, right. Okay, right. Lewis is looking. She's walking at Lewis, but Simon is the one who has to hit her, his love. Why couldn't Lewis do it for him? Why couldn't Lewis have spared him?
Spared him this pain.
Lewis is cowardice.
It's because Lewis has no emotions. He doesn't understand human emotions.
He just got on Earth a bit ago. He doesn't
That's also a
them.
fanfiction I read, audience. I went on fanfiction.net looking for Shadow of Israphel fanfiction. There's something where Lewis met Honeydew. It was like they were like the characters. And he just randomly says, I was born without emotions. Such a weird bit to assume that that's Lewis's character trait. I guess given what little RP he does, that maybe it's not the craziest assumption to make, but God.
It's still funny. It's still so funny.
But as Granny's walking towards Lewis, Simon hits her in the back of the head. And her face rips off to reveal a grotesque zombified
all of her flesh and all of her blood and flesh falls off.
All of her skin and flesh falls off, and she's bleeding from the mouth, and she's green. She's turned. They scream and run away. Lewis completely fails to erect a barricade, trying to cage her. But they're like, "Can we turn her back?" They don't add the zombie cure to the game for years, boys. It's too late for her. She's too far gone.
It's so fucked up.
And then Grady activates fast mode.
She's a runner!
Lunges at Simon, beating him to death. Ross says, "Oh God, she's a runner! Holy shit!"
Literally, it's like she's coherent enough to just attack these guys, and she's like mulling stuff down just to get to them. Like she's mining those blocks and shit. She's in fucking Minecraft. It's insane.
Yeah, and all of her skin is slowing off her body
It's
as they have to
terrifying.
kill her. It's really scary. It's
I
such a
can't
great
remember-
effect.
Was it
It's
armor,
really
or
awesome.
was she just changing her skin in real
It
time?
was
I could
armor,
not
because you
tell.
can't change your skin in real time.
It was armor,
It was
yeah,
a
you
retextured
can't-
armor pack.
Well, yeah, I was like, it must be, but I was like,
Her skin was armor all along,
Which is why she was so
that's
big.
why she's like so much bigger than a normal model, because she's like the leather armor retextured.
I literally never noticed that. I feel
There
kinda
are some
stupid.
moments where like Lewis and Simon wear leather armor and they're just wearing Granny Bacon's clothes.
I am kind of stupid. I never picked up
That's
on
why
that.
Lewis had Ugg boots that one time. It was just Granny Bacon. But yeah, Simon cries out in panic. Ah, she's gone mad! She's gone mad! She's gonna kill me! Oh my God! Kill her! Kill her! Kill her! Oh my
So
God! I'm
funny.
sorry.
He's
I
never
felt,
felt
I
so
felt
much
really
regret.
bad for Simon here.
That's true. It was such a true fear. Oh my God.
It
It's
was so
fucked
sad.
up.
It was not. It was just so painful.
Oh, her skin flakes off, revealing the bloody mouth zombie. As their blows completely destroy her frail body, a skeleton gets mixed up in the fight, and Lewis finally
yeah,
dispatches her.
that was really
I guess
fun.
Lewis did, in a way, spare Simon the
At
pain of
least
having
the
to kill
killing
her in
blow.
the end. But yeah, it was. And like, oh God, ooh, bacon.
Bacon.
Even in these trying times, there could be something to look for.
The first thing Lewis says after they were forced to kill Granny Bacon is, "Well, my goodness, that was
and Lewis, after
epic."
killing Simon's girlfriend,
That
who was
so
also an old
insane.
woman.
I was really laughing
That was
so
epic.
hard.
That was epic.
I don't think
That
killing
was
your lover is
epic.
epic.
That was
Epic sauce.
And
Kinda
immediately
cool.
after, they are also filled with guilt over what they have done. But then,
Yeah, Simon does. Simon does fucking. We murdered her in cold blood. She was a zombie. We did have to kill her. She was your lover. I'm sorry, friend. Oh well, life goes on.
Insane.
they failed
Lewis
their
had a
mission.
moment where he felt human emotions, and then Simon. Ross says, "Oh well, he'll find another woman to have global chat ERP with."
No.
Yeah, we can only hope.
I really hope so.
Oh.
Oh my God, that was
Earned as much.
terrifying. That was epic. Lewis!
That was
Lewis!
epic.
Time and place.
Literally just like, okay, yeah, you know what? Hold on.
I
Time
love
and place,
the-
buddy.
I want to read that diegetic dialogue. Sephiroth's just that was epic. And Honeydew's like, oh my God, what have you done? That was pretty epic, huh? High five, friend. He doesn't get it.
You just not
I'm
Oh,
believing
he
that
doesn't understand
fanfic.
love. Lucis turned around and he's like, what did we come in here for? Well, we came here to save Granny Bacon and instead we killed her. So, what we do next is anyone's guess. And then Granny Bacon left the game. Her spirits passed on. Really sad.
It's not fair. It's all over.
This hurt so much. This is the first, like, actual character death, honestly, now that I think about it. Because, like, Daisy's kidnapped. She's alive, hopefully. Old Peculiar didn't die, famously. Granny Bacon was the first, like, hurtful... Well, like, okay, Reverend John died, but
Yeah,
fuck
I was
him. He
like,
was an enemy.
yeah,
Sorry.
Technically, it's a character death, just not like a protagonist character death, or rather Deuteronomy.
Granny Bacon, and the fact that they were forced to kill her in such a cruel way, it truly resonates
Yeah.
as a story of loss. It's just the way it really is. Aaron, like Israphel up to this point has like done stupid pranks. He did kidnap Daisy Duke, which is pretty fucked up. But like in terms of what he's done to Lewis and Simon, I mean, he did. Well, did he set the booby trap that killed him? Did he set the car bomb? I don't think he did. I don't know that he himself did that.
I don't know.
But he might have ordered it. I'm not sure. But yeah, now he's really taken something that can never be regained, and that's pretty bad. They could have rebuilt the Yog Cave, as crushing a loss as it was. They could have fixed that, but you can't rebuild the love of your life.
This is so sad. Can we hit
Unless
2
they did the
likes?
forbidden alchemy.
Simon
I
gives
knew
up his arm to bring back Granny Bacon.
I wish I knew the Full Metal Alchemist line again. Just like, one thing must be exchanged for another.
Yeah.
Nothing in this world can be gained without giving something in return.
Thank you.
True.
Thank you, Birch. I couldn't remember, but you knew
I
it.
probably didn't get it exactly right,
Granny
but equivalent
Bacon's
exchange.
just like Markiplier from Full Metal Alchemist. Because they died.
Favorite.
Ah!
Next thing I'm drawing for this podcast is going to be that.
Who? What part of that?
Full Metal Alchemist AU.
Okay, that was
Granny
true.
Bacon is May Hughes.
That cut out so bad. I
they-
love Discord latency.
They find some stairs, and they get upward from this dark, depressing abyss. Simon volunteers Lewis to go ahead, but Lewis doesn't have any torches left. Wow, I wonder why.
Gee.
He does think, maybe I should go and get those back up. That's true, Lewis. You should do that. And then Simon, with an insane dwarf brain, thinks, I think I saw some coal in the big room. He wants to make torches from scratch.
He's so insane for this.
But then when he goes back, he goes, actually, never mind, let's just go.
Yeah, no shit. Bro.
There were monsters. Another tiny tunnel! Yay! I love tunnels!
Yay!
Some kind of open cavern. Danger, deep mine excavation, long drop, says the sign. And then... I had no memory of this entire segment of this episode. They go on a walk through a door right there. They turn to their left, and an undead Reverend John is just standing there at a crafting table. And he turns to look at them, and they look at him in a moment of silence.
It's really
and then,
good. It
and then
reminds
they
me of,
run
like,
away out the door.
Looney Tunes ass behavior, swear to God.
How do we feel about seeing Reverend John again?
It was
like,
scary.
Oh my God.
It's like,
He looks so scary now.
he's also a zombie. The master promise.
Ross says, what? Reverend who?
Reverend what?
Yeah, also I really love Lewis. They run out and Lewis types, hello!
Hello!
That was really good.
Yes, I love Lewis as like this weird robot who doesn't know which emotion to express.
The robot on the dwarf. I can't say I have to draw more fan art because that makes me insane.
You have to draw Yogscast fan art now!
No!
He's crying. Oh my God, that made my mic peak so bad. I'm sorry, Gina.
It's okay. He remarks on, it doesn't look as well as when we last saw him, but we did kill him.
Yeah, he
True.
was
Better than dead.
He got shot in the head with a gun. And then Reverend John says, the master promises eternity. Oh, sorry. Simon reads it like, the master promises eternity. His creepy, very nice creeper voice.
I'm a creeper.
You still live. Yep, Zepho says in reply. Embrace the dark. And he lunges with Reverend John's holy blade. Dark Souls boss music plays as Reverend John's gold light great sword. Simon bemoans, we're killing everyone, Lewis. Dude,
on a
Brady Bacon's sad, but this guy is like an evil guy. Let's not get so caught up in
To
the
be
morality.
fair, it still counts as one kill because they killed him already. He just didn't die.
Yeah, he's not dead again. Reverend John escapes because of a missing chunk that Israphel created that stopped them from pursuing him. They chase him down a tiny tunnel, the Israphel special. He threw his sword at Simon on the ground.
Really
It's a
good.
cool reference to that time where Simon threw his sword in the hole with the creeper, remember?
I do.
That was in the
remember.
crypt of Reverend John. I'm glad that even the NPCs throw swords by accident.
It's so
Me
funny.
too. It's so good.
Simon says that he doesn't have a sword, but he's got a piece of paper. He's got a nasty piece of paper. And he's giving me paper cuts.
That was really good. They're just chasing
He says
him
it
around.
probably does more damage than a golden sword does to you. And I'm like, come on, can we please put some respect on Reverend John's unholy blade?
Literally.
And also, to be fair, gold sword is as good as diamond sword. It's just weak. It just doesn't last.
Yep.
Let's dispel the rumors.
I was a gold girly when I was growing up. And
Because of
yes,
butter?
Yeah.
I always do
Okay.
like to. I like.
Gold.
Keep go.
Okay.
Go.
I'm gonna say I'm
interrupt
pretty
you.
sure these days it's gold sword does as much as a stone or wooden sword. I cannot remember, but I
Did they
think
nerf it?
I swear to God.
We will have to
But I
fact
don't
check
remember.
this.
Fact check this, future Gina.
I
in the
remember
podcast.
using it recently, and it was like comparatively speaking, you should just have iron instead of gold. But I don't remember.
Hey here, future Gina. Apparently, gold has always sucked really badly and been the same as, like, wood. I don't know where I got the myth that it was, like, the best power, but had the worst durability. That was just misinformation. I apologize for spreading falsehood.
It's
Yeah,
been a
but,
while.
They chase him to a small room made of sand. Oh my god, it's a hell portal! Can
Oh
these guys
my
get any
God.
special awareness? Like, they kill him, and they just, like, for a few seconds don't even mention that there's a giant open portal right in front of them while they're celebrating. That Reverend John dropped torches!
Literally.
Just what they needed.
Just
This room isn't just sandy,
That's what
there's a
they
fucking
needed.
cactus. It's not just sand, there's, like, cacti everywhere. Then... Right now, I remember that old peculiar mention that there used to be a portal down there. So there's two. There's one that was deactivated by his father, and there's one that's a new one that they just built, I guess. We've got destroyed, haven't we? Not go through it? Lewis, catch up. This is what old peculiar taught us. They're baby birds. They're leaving the nest.
They're leaving the nest.
Simon asked Lewis to watch his back in case someone else they've previously met shows up to attack them.
So funny.
Oh god, what if Daisy's turn? Oh, don't even think about it. Don't even think about it.
I like it. Like, don't even say that, man.
That's
Don't
a
even manifest
sad
it.
theory.
Well, maybe not, because Daisy, she didn't have a whole armor set like Granny, so she couldn't be turned. And again, I'm kind
Well,
of...
she could turn off screen.
It's true. I didn't realize again that it was like an armor piece. I just never noticed for some reason.
It was for the special effects.
Yeah.
I didn't even
The
do
practical
that.
effects.
Practical
It
effects
was
are
good
so.
special effects. I just felt stupid. I was like,
Once they break it, they're like, now where do we go from the bottom of this evil castle? Lewis also reads the script and asks, also sand, have you noticed this? Why was this room full of sand?
Also some cacti.
And there was sand by the Yog Cave. R.I.P. Never forget.
I did.
It will live on in my heart.
That
Really
killed
good.
me.
They're
That
making
killed me
mental
so
Sorry
hard.
that Granny Bacon died, but you know it really
That
means
was
as a moment of
pretty-
silence.
Yeah, sorry that Granny Bacon died. All I did was have sex with her. The Yog Cave is my true love. But yeah, they're theorizing. Like, there was sand at the Yog Cave where the portal was, and there's sand here. There's sand in that portal that was destroyed in the Mistral City's mine. Let's all theorize about the sand and its ties to the hell portals.
Okay.
What does it mean?
I don't know.
Hmm.
Oh,
I like that one commenter who thought it was all about the soul sand. They brought it here. They were going to put Simon and Lewis in Granny Bacon inside the sand and take it back.
Wow.
Why didn't they?
Because they stopped them. Simon and Lewis
Oh.
are heroes.
Wow.
Wow.
Lewis starts digging through the sand and gravel to see how close they are to the surface, and they're very close. Wow,
It's
how
so funny.
convenient.
I was
Yay!
like, okay, this was probably underground, and I was like, oh, that's just the night sky. Okay. I think it was the night sky, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's night. It's nighttime.
For a second, I was like, I don't remember.
They dig themselves out and turn around to see the burnt, ruined Mistral City on fire, lava
Poor
spilling
Mistral
everywhere,
City.
which is... It's such a good shot, honestly. It's like the bright lights of the
Yeah.
city, like stars reflected on the earth. It was really
So
great.
beautiful.
It's pretty cool.
Simon points out to Lewis that Fummore's tower is just gone, unless I'm blind. They both instantly jump to the conclusion that he might have blown himself up. Or, Simon postulates, it disappeared. Like Dalaran did. So Dalaran is a magical city from Warcraft that moved locations in the narrative. It was a magic floating city. Pretty obvious. It moved from Lordamere Lake in the Eastern Kingdoms to Northrend by the power of its magic. Quite similar to how Fummore's tower has moved from Mistral City to Icaria.
Thank you so much for researching.
Thank you.
Sorry, I just looked over at Ross's notes. They destroyed the turlet?
Thank you, Ross.
Literally, they're asking the right questions.
Yeah, They just go urban exploring through the wreck of Mistral City for a while here.
They're just chilling out. They're not like oh, it's so scary.
Lewis observes that Simon's having trouble fighting zombies, and Simon explains how zombies can hit you further than them. We've talked about this before. They used to be stretchy like Luffy.
Yep.
Lewis falls off a bridge, and Simon pays him back for, like, passive-aggressively observing his fail of zombie fighting by going, "Oh, good effort there, mate. Good effort." The catty Britons. They fight a spider and monsters. They realize all this water must be Jasper's house.
His bath is.
And they start asking the
city.
important questions. They're like, so is Jasper good or bad? I mean, was Lysander the bad one and he was the good one?
They just don't know yet.
I wasn't there to share my thoughts.
Right, you weren't even there to see Lysander's evil shrine to Israphel. Do you think it's him? Do you think he's guilty?
I hope I'm never gonna trust again. I'm vividly
going to trust again.
I'm never going
character
to trust.
we meet, I'm going to assume they're either going to turn into a zombie or betray us.
I'm literally never going to be over it, you stupid bitch. To us, crying emoji, skull emoji.
Will be tricked by Israphel? They're doing theories, and I like that. They're trying to run down everything that's happened. Fillmore and Brayburn are missing. Granny's dead. Lysander's a cultist. Reverend John is a zombie.
All over.
Maybe
I miss Peculiar. Come back.
Maybe we have to get into the habit of burning and salting the bodies like supernatural style. That's the second time you've mentioned this, Lewis. And I'm a bit uncomfortable.
Please stop burning bodies. I'm scared.
They find the ruins of Granny's tea shop and Simon gets choked up. She's never gonna come back. Simon starts sobbing and eating cake on the counter. Me too, man.
It's very sad.
Lewis is looking at the decorations. That's where they find the outhouse. And Simon goes, "Oh God, I'm swimming in other people's feculence, Lewis."
I love that word. I learned. It's like I thought he said opulence for some reason.
Opioids. I'm swimming in other people's opioids, Lewis.
So, which is still pretty much the same.
They
would make a joke like that, wouldn't they?
They're looking for the back road out of town because that's where Opeculiar. He said to meet them in Verrigan's Hold and then walk through a giant skull.
Yes.
Which is a metaphor for how he's dead.
No!
Squeals in pain. They're talking about Mrs. Miggles finding her cat, and Simon's like, "I carrier. What's a carrier?" Father Brayburn said he was going there too. Maybe it's the next quest hub or something. Simon has a good laugh at that. Yeah. You treat real life things as an MMO. You're treating Minecraft as an MMO right now, everyone, both of you, equally.
Literally.
They find a nice stone pathway under the burning remains of the business district and take it to the skull. And Israphel is behind the skull. They see his name! That bastard, he was watching the whole time!
That freak!
Do we chase? Of course we chase! Of course we chase! We must save Daisy!
Save Daisy! Please,
Simon
Daisy.
trumpets.
If Daisy dies in this, I'm literally never gonna recover, you guys.
As the ending splash comes down. What a dramatic episode. Holy shit.
Crazy.
I sure hope that
they're
next
hitting
episode
20 minutes, right? I can't remember.
Yeah, that was like a 19-minute error because of all the drama and the action and Granny Bacon's tragic demise.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
I remember the Granny Bacon's sad fate and the cool special effects. I did not remember Reverend John. That was so fucking funny.
It
makes sense because of course like someone had to have kidnapped her, so I guess there had to be another guy there, but I didn't know it was Reverend John. I forgot.
So good. It's the best. Like, oh, okay, I guess he's still alive.
Such a dramatic and gut-wrenching moment. They suffered 2 betrayals in a way. It wasn't Granny Bacon's fault, but she was made to betray them.
Yeah.
Oh.
So upsetting.
It's tragic.
No.
This was not right. This was not
It's
okay.
just not
Right. No,
right.
there's comments. What do the comments think about all this?
I only got 2 comments because I was kind of short on time to grab the comments today.
Traveling.
And I didn't get any for the next episode, but here are just these ones.
Oh boy, the next
I
episode's
read
comments.
some of the
From
recent comments.
War Hero
so.
40,000. No, Granny. Sad face. She was a lovely old woman. She will be missed. R.I.P. Granny Bacon. She was an awesome old woman.
Yeah, fucking true. She was.
And then from Frog Stanson, Granny Bacon is Hero Pine, or whatever the guy from Escapecraft was.
He was a zombie.
She was Hero Pine.
I don't know if that's true.
Alright, that's all I got.
Okay, yeah. I explained like the Minecraft like leather armor thing, just like an overview. That wasn't a specific comment, but you know. It was a very fun, it was a clever use of the mechanics. 10-year-old comment says, I love how calm Lewis is when he sees Israphel. Oh, there's Israphel. La la la. A lot of comments about.
He ain't even phased by this shit no more.
Yeah, it's emotionally because he's born without emotion. You gotta be considerate of him. A lot of ribbing Lewis for his torch placement. And yeah, Birch here. I'm so relentlessly vexed that Lewis randomly put 27 arrows in his chest a couple of episodes back when trying to clear inventory space. It's only just now complaining about arrows.
This person
Oh
understands
man,
my
Ross
pain.
isn't here to hear this. I write enemy of Ross, the good old days in Minecraft where food didn't stack. That's the good old days.
How could you say that? How could you say that? Every time things don't automatically stack in a game, I got really frustrated.
Shout out to the... Okay, this is a bizarre comment. Someone's saying, June 2nd, 22 at 4 a.m. during the riots. Still the best thing ever.
What?
I did see something
Ooh.
maybe related to that where it was like, I don't forget what it said. It's like, watch the Cairo report or this for sure. And I was like, what is that talking about?
Cairo?
Was something terrible happening going down in Cairo then?
I suppose, like, 10 years ago, this is referring to, like, the BLM riots. That is what this person is talking about. I don't know if I can scan any, like, political intention behind this YouTube comment. Maybe they were just, like, kind of stressed out, just, like... Or maybe it was just something happening in the world that they wanted to have immortalized on YouTube.
Under Shadow
Very
of Israphel.
weird. The only reply to it is that guy going, oh yeah, zombies used to have a wider hit radius, but it was only the zombies. Thank you, man.
Okay.
Weird guy.
Okay.
This is more addictive than Game of Thrones.
Wow!
Wow.
Oh god, how
Last
old is that
comment that made me laugh. Oh my god, Birch, this is really topical for you.
Yes.
I feel like these guys played a lot of Oblivion before making this series, and they made a similar thing with Hell Gates, Oblivion Gates, and Israphel, Mehrunes Dagon, and Israphel's cult, the Mythic Dawn. Just a thought. I think that Hell Gates were already established before Oblivion in such works as Diablo and Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I think that the concept of a Hellgate is not... I don't know. Maybe they're on
Thank you for
something.
repping Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Okay, apparently I had an actual last one, and this is something that Ross would have also been able to relate to. When this video loaded, I saw Granny Bacon's funeral bonus video, and I screamed, "No! No, no, no!"
Really good.
We'll have to watch that at some point. It's not yet, though. I think I saw when it came out. It was like a couple months away. Okay, now... time for Shadow of Israphel Part 12, Beyond Skull Pass, which is, I believe, critically lauded and won nominations for several awards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I believe so. They say it's been a while when they come back because there was a break in the episodes. So that was like a mid-season cliffhanger kind of deal. It's been 17 days since last episode. They were cooking. They were in the lab cooking.
And I think it got a little
working
rocky.
real hard.
They were cooking some crazy
Yeah.
things. The splash art is of decaying Granny Bacon, zombie with blood and dangling eyeballs saying, "Come and give your old granny a hug." Scary
It
and
made me
sad.
so sad. I was like, no, Grandma.
The art did rock though. That was
Her
great.
slay of having ERP
Yeah.
in main chat.
But they welcome us back to the wonderful world of Minecraftia. They're outside Skull Pass. It's a spooky place. It's a giant skull, and they got passed through it. Thank you for bringing us all to Steve. Lewis asks if they think they're gonna find another long dark tunnel. I hope so. That would be great. I hope it's
Every
a long, dark tunnel
episode.
with no talking.
That'd be great.
I hope that nothing happens. Well, Israphel walked through this, didn't he? But that was a while ago, so he's probably like, God knows where he is now. They've actually diegetically waited 17 days.
I like that they waited. It's just how it is in 17 days is real.
Lewis asks if he wants to go first, and they just man up and they go. Chicken
Yeah.
clucking sound.
I'm always thinking about the One Piece orchid stuff with the chicken. It's just like,
I'm sorry, I just looked at Ross. I was curious. What's Ross got to say about episode 12? The second one is Swag Moves is hitting Don't Recommend channel on a Yogscast video in the sidebar recommendations. After this fucking episode, I'm with you, man. Fucking for true. Also recommended playlist of dance songs for kids. They climb to the mouth of a skull. It's scary. It's a cool build, but it's mostly seen at night, so it's sad that you can't really appreciate it. They climb up some well-lit stairs and see a pair of signs. You must be at least this tall to ride. For your safety, please keep arms and legs inside the ride. The stairs double back, and there's another sign that says, "This way to fun!"
wow.
And then, keep going, with an arrow
I
pointing to
was
the
so
right.
scared. I was like, oh god, none of this is fun. They literally just saw Granny's eye. There's no way. I was so afraid.
Simon asks if this is a theme park, and then they turn a corner and they get jump scared by Gorilla!
Dude, I was like, Donkey Kong!
Ah! Hello, Lewis says. Someone asks if he's wearing a gorilla suit. That's how I know this shit is fake. You're telling me you wouldn't look at that and just assume Mr. Banjo was a
I
literal
did think he
actual
was
gorilla?
a real gorilla. I really loved this part, and I
really
loved
wanted him
seeing
to be
that
a
there was a
gorilla.
gorilla, and it made me really excited to see a gorilla.
Yeah, I was
Literally
so
me.
excited.
Same here, Birch. I was like, oh my god, it wasn't. I was like, oh, okay.
Mr. Banjo runs upstairs and beats his chest, which Simon does. Simon goes
I'm glad he went
out loud
instead of
into the microphone. And he jumps down water slide.
Whee!
And then the Dark Souls location.
Yes! Carnival del Banjo!
insane. That was insane.
I was in love with this at first. I thought
There's
it was the most
a massive
beautiful-
keep, like a huge fort in the background. Not important. Like all those enormous towers and this huge like castle fort. Don't worry about it, because all we care about is the circus with striped
Carnival del
tents,
Banjo.
stands and flags, and there's a huge wooden roller
think
coaster build that looks awesome.
looks so
The day
cool.
changed, didn't it? Didn't it like become night to day? I remember being like that. Instead of whoa, it's bright outside.
Yeah, because I guess the establishing shot was shot then, but it's like sunrise all of a sudden.
It scared me. I was like, what the hell? Huh?
Mr. Banjo unleashes a high-pitched roar!
Yeah, Mr. Banjo!
They look around in a daze, awestruck by the silliness. Lewis turns to see Bruno's place, Test Your Strength, run by Strongman_Bruno. There is also Madame Nubescu,
Yeah.
who is one of the things about this series I've been quietly
Oh.
dreading.
I must resign. My
This is the opposite of what you said you were going to do.
silence. No,
You didn't resign it at all. You've been talking a lot.
Well, listen. Commenters, please agree with me that I was silent for the entirety of the last episode's discussion.
I'll agree.
Okay, that's true.
Please reinvent history, commenters. Thank you.
Okay, that's true.
Holy
Commenters, go watch
shit.
Milnak's Shinobi Strikers
four of
and
you.
Maresalt videos.
Please.
I have a YouTube channel. It's cool. It's awesome.
I should
I
do the
am trying
to make
pluggables.
more
hell,
videos.
I should probably start putting Ross's channel in the description and your channel if you want.
It
Have
could
you
be
not?
fun.
I thought
It
you
could be
did.
sweet.
I don't know if I have put Ross's
learn
channel in the
later.
description.
I have a
We're literally
few.
avoiding the topic of discussion.
Where
I have a
Yeah,
few things
well.
to say on this episode, but I feel like
Mm.
I will monopolize the airspace, so I want to go fast.
Okay.
Okay.
I wrote very, very few notes during this section because of, well, I forgot to mention this at the beginning. I took these notes on a plane again.
yeah.
So, I really did not, I kind of spaced out during this part. Like, I was paying attention to, like, the important parts, but, like, it's just, let's get,
really
let's-
egregiously.
let's get to the
racist
point.
is this
She's a
episode.
racist caricature.
She is incredibly racist.
It was hard for me to watch. It was really hard for me to watch. That's why
it was very much a
It is
grind.
a painful thing to watch.
I did put on 2 times speed because it was just I couldn't handle it.
It was really. And we can talk about Mr. Banjo for as long as we possibly can before we have to talk about
I wish
it.
Mr. Banjo was the only character here. I love Mr. Banjo.
And Strawman Bruno, whoever
He is
that
really
is.
funny.
I love Gorilla Man.
Actually, I'm so sorry. I said I wouldn't do this, but the rage is building up inside me, and
Honestly,
I feel like
I
I'm
want
about to
Mel-
go
Please
go
let
on
it out.
Super Saiyan
Mil,
2.
take over. Let the rage continue.
Okay. So, there's a lot about this character. A lot that I might not be the most entitled to speak on. And I would like to say a few things, completely ignoring Turf, which is, there are some saving graces of this episode.
Mhm.
There were some funny moments. And that was about it. If there for like the 2 jokes that landed, which I haven't even written down because attempting to take notes while watching this was not possible. I was deep in fugue. Wow. I mean, just wow. I was trying to think about how they might justify this or coordinate this behind the scene, and nothing I could come up with made me happy. Well, okay, I should say there was something that I thought of that I was like, well, okay, if they just somehow literally just never met someone who wasn't a white British boy, maybe this is excusable. But I don't know if that's a fairly reasonable assumption. I don't think we can operate based off of the idea that they just live in a vacuum sealed chamber of Great Britain. I think there was exposure to different cultures during their time. I'm sorry.
A feeling. I mean, they must have to know how to make this incredibly completely accurate portrayal of a Jamaican black woman who is also a voodoo practitioner.
Can I bring up something to say later up in the episode?
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember who said that, but I know one of them wow, this is a bit racist, don't you think? And then they move on.
It's I did right
literally, I almost wanted to turn it off. I was like,
yeah, back in the day, you would just say this is a little bit racist, huh? And then you keep making the joke. That's how it was back in the day.
Because
it was of its time, you guys. It was a product of its time.
The way that it's the amount of caricatures in Wonder Woman that do not all match up, Jamaican and voodoo, and then
I guess it could be Haitian is what they think they're doing.
It still sucks. All of it sucks. None of it is good.
It really
all
is.
It is a choice to do her voice like that.
Want to turn off the video and just not review the rest
Simon's
of it.
voice is almost so. It's deeply unpleasant to listen to, I think, on its own, just sonically.
Literally.
I almost don't know if it's really, of course the vernacular and what he's saying is racist, but, the voice in itself is almost, I feel that's almost just, a dumb bit on its own that could exist in its own world,
there could be some way where he's kind of making it a little bit racist, but in most of the sense, he's just doing the stupidest voice he can think of, which is also insulting, but it's also, it's hard to listen to.
It's I guess I would prefer
Simon
this voice than him trying to do, an actual horrible...
I suppose, in the great,
single... not good thing, but it's the only thing that got me.
Simon doesn't get any grace from me when he made up the racist gibberish in addition to
that was insane.
Immediately after he says this is a bit racist, after the character says some scripted racist gibberish, then he adds his own unique racist gibberish that he improv'd. Yep. So Simon kind of doesn't get any slack from me on that one.
Yeah. This is so disheartening. I feel like I need to tear this apart, but it's there's so little substance to tear apart here. It feels like things are just dripping apart in my hands.
Yeah,
and it's
fucking 15-year-old Minecraft Let's Play with racism in it. They got Minecraft Let's Plays with racism in it today.
Yeah.
That's true.
It's on the
Sorry,
totem pole of things to complain about and to be aware about. Maybe not like the craziest, but definitely for us people who are choosing to make a podcast talk show about this series, it is suddenly actually very important for us to say this was the most awful, heinous shit I've ever had to fucking listen through.
I want to ask, because you were a Yogs person. Do they ever talk about this later? Do they ever mention it?
I cannot. I would imagine that they pretend this never happened.
Yeah, that's what I would imagine, that they would just.
This is not really a thing.
Unacknowledged. Unacknowledged.
Yeah,
okay.
I will say this character is not like one of the ones that I think is remembered. For sure.
Maybe if I go on YouTube, I can find like Lewis Brindley comments on the Madame Nubescu controversy.
I have
some Twitch stream.
Whoa. Birch.
Yeah.
I have a few things to say on that.
Okay.
I did look at the comments of this video, and the people who were actually like fucking, oh, every time I listen to Madame Nubescu, I shit my pants laughing. And it's just like, oh, I miss her, and it's like, what?
What's wrong with you?
Did we watch the same video? You want her back?
I took a lot of comments. I don't remember them all, but there were a lot of people like the things you would expect to see.
There was a couple comments, I swear to God, I remember seeing where they were just like, if this upsets you, Snowflake, or some shit like that.
I saw a Snowflake comment,
I was just like, girl, come on.
Ross, let me see what Ross says about this. Please be normal about Madame Nubescu. Never mind.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Never mind.
I saw her and I was like, oh, cool, new lady. And then immediately I was like, oh, never mind. Guess I'll go fuck myself. I mean, whatever.
Yeah, Ross also 2 times speeded this. And then said, oh, thank fuck, it's over.
Oh. Also, I need to lean on you all for this one, because I might try to make a... Maybe this is a bit of a deep cut, maybe this is unfair, but using my knowledge of, like, original Warcraft and this fucking mess, I really feel like this is perhaps the most evil part of these fuckers never playing any video games aside from World of Warcraft. Because isn't this just like the troll archetype, but not even with...
I think it is.
I think
you're
absolutely
fucking right.
is.
As soon as you started talking, I was like, oh god, the trolls are like weird voodoo people.
It exactly
oh
is that, but it's a real human being.
Which is, I mean,
my God.
Not great to begin with. So much worse.
So much worse.
No.
So much worse.
You can't say that, Minecraft boy.
You can't say that, Minecraft boy.
Oh my God.
It's really bad. It's guys.
Yeah, that's. I think we've adequately commiserated about this enough. Yeah. Shadow of Israphel podcast does not support racist caricatures.
Let's get that on the table.
Let's just say that right now. I don't think that this is okay.
I think this is bad.
I do not condone white British men doing weird fucking gross shit with their Minecraft toys.
But yeah, literally, in a lighthearted way, you guys should have not posted this video. I would have waited longer for 17 days, like back in the day. Yeah, it was a long time. I'd rather would have waited longer to not get this episode.
I think Shadow should have ended.
I think I should have ended last
never made
episode
another
with
one.
Zombie Granny.
You know
Granny Bacon should have just killed them both. End the series.
That would have been great.
Been
Okay, well, Mr. Banjo ruins the illusion that he's a gorilla by talking in human language.
That was really fucking upsetting. I was like, "Shut up! I wish you were a gorilla." I was like crying.
I love you, Mr. Banjo. You're my only.
Simon says he expected something like the crevice, which I don't know what that is. That's scary.
Probably another.
He takes off his mask and fine, it's just a guy in a gorilla suit. But can't we just pretend?
Mr. Banjo is so kind.
Airplanes in the night sky are like shooting stars.
He asks how they like their free trip down the premium ride, the skull.
The skull.
And they look up and they see there's like another skull on this side of the mountain, and they came out its mouth as the water slide. It is a Nigel Thornberry voice Simon does for this guy.
It is pretty silly.
It's like, he's not actually a gorilla. Look, he's just a man, Simon. Did you think it was actually a gorilla?
I like how
Yes,
he's-
Simon, I did. I did think.
Oh, he's-
And so did Ross.
I
and
did
so did
also
Birch.
hope it was
and
a real
me
gorilla.
as well.
And Wirt. We all thought it was a real gorilla.
We
Because
really
we have a whimsical mind.
We believe in
You
the beauty
fucking
of life.
asshole. You racist bitch. We wanted to
racist
believe.
We wanted a
asshole.
real gorilla.
You see, I'm not actually a gorilla. I'm just a man. Mr. Banjo, at your
Mr.
service.
Banjo.
That was heartbreaking. That was literally it was over for me. Back to back with the racist shit was terrible, yes, and we've discussed this at length.
God, here's the thing that we didn't discuss yet. When they see Madame Nubescu, fucking God, Lewis says, "There's a lady here, a black lady."
The way
Fucking
that
thank
he
you,
says-
Lewis.
Yeah, man.
I can see.
Yeah, I can
The way
see.
that
I
was
can
his first
see.
thing, I was like, okay, so now it's over, I see. Immediately when he said that, I was like,
Thank
okay.
you, white
you,
boy.
Mr.
I
Red
understand.
Lady.
I can see it right on my screen. Simon says, "A beautiful lady," which I mean, what can we expect from the horny character? At least he didn't mention
You
her
know
skin
what?
color.
At least he's consistently
what?
horny.
You know what? I'm sorry.
wanna
May I
fuck
talk
an
to the
old woman.
commenters
You
again,
wanna fuck
actually?
a
Talk to the
blacksmith.
commenters again. Yeah, these guys who will never see this video because they're
I'm-
all 40 with children.
Don't. Well, no. It's. Listen. It's just here's the thing, folks. All right. You gotta understand. It.
Yeah?
It is just. It is so perfect to recognize other people's differences, but when you just start the conversation with black woman, you don't just go.
You didn't see Lysander say, "There's a white guy with old peculiar." Who's that?
Exactly.
Oh my
Come
Sorry, I
on.
wish you
Who's
did,
this
though.
white guy hanging out with old peculiar?
That would have been really funny.
Thank you, Gina. I was just fucking
It's like just
boiling.
a bad writer, like weird racist thing.
Yep.
I was just listening to something else where they
Exactly.
were reading some like weird conservative book about like Navy SEALs, and it was like the Navy SEAL comes home and his little cousin's playing basketball, and there's the black boy, and every time that guy is mentioned, he is called the black boy
The
in
black
every scene,
boy.
including the one where he gets shot and he's dying.
Ugh.
Oh my god.
Every single fucking one. It's very much like that.
You know what? On a lighter note, when we first learned about Nubescu, my first thought was reading it like Dimitrescu, like from Resident Evil, so I
Oh.
pronounced it in my head like, Nubescu, for some reason.
That's awesome, actually.
That's
That might be my favorite fact about Madame Nubescu. My favorite thing about her is that
yeah. But yeah, it's
yeah,
funny, yeah.
so they ask her like where they are and if she'd seen a pale-faced man, and I take a second. Does this imply that Israphel rode the water slide before they did?
Yay!
I
Weepy!
like to imagine that. Let's all take a second to
Imagine
disassociate
how-
from this
And
fucking
imagine
train wreck.
together.
Imagine.
That would have been really
Yeah,
nice.
but
That's me crying.
right, and I go on this whole fucking rant about how the voice is awful, and I'm gonna paraphrase. There was an evil spirit washing over the place. Of course, that's Israphel. Come on. Yeah, Lewis asks how old she. Because this voice. I guess I should describe it for the sake of. It's just it's like a robot voice. Ross describes it as you made her sound like a text to speech, which is
Even
accurate.
if
It's
she
like,
wasn't a racist caricature, I would have been so pissed listening to this voice. I would have been.
Yeah,
That
it
is
would've
actually
still been
that is
pretty
one of the
annoying.
things when I look back in the comments, everybody hated her voice. Everybody was like,
I feel like
"Stop."
everyone. I saw a lot of hate and I saw a lot of love. It was very divisive. And it's just like, oh, it's that is the voice. It's like
Yeah,
that.
it's like
Why
that.
did he do this? He could have just made a normal voice. It could have been like, I don't know, like, hello, I'm a whimsical woman.
Like Birch points out, I think him doing a black woman impression would have been worse. I think I would have not liked that more.
True, shit, I forgot. My first thought, he would just be like, hello, I'm a woman, sort of type of shit voice. I forgot.
Lewis asked how old she is based on that voice, which I guess is an innocent observation. One could say worse things about this voice.
Yep.
Madame Nubescu is a voodoo lady. She's a fortune teller. Mr. Banjo's in denial that there's evil. He runs excitedly around the waterfall.
He really does go on a
Skipping-
rant about this while they're already talking
beautiful
to...
and fun and exciting.
Well, they're
He
talking
has a
to
beautiful
Nubescu
life
about-
every day.
she's like talking to her, and she's like, "Oh yeah, I can totally read your fortune or whatever." Meanwhile, you have him in the background like, "This life is beautiful every day. Oh great heavens!"
Simon asks if they should have their fortune told. She seems to know something. I think just like on a hunch. Like, listen, I like prophecies, and I'm very excited to see if these prophecies come true. But I feel like you could have hit a pass. Old Peculiar is a little urgent, don't you think? Old Peculiar's waiting for you guys.
Yeah.
Don't you think it would be nice to be a good friend? Go, hurry up. There's a weird cut. I can only dread to imagine what happens.
Oh, the stuff that wasn't
Maybe
good
it's
enough
just
to
innocent,
include in
maybe
this
like there
video.
were technical difficulties, but considering last time there was a weird cut, it was Lysander said something that he shouldn't have said.
I can only
Man.
imagine how much worse.
I can only imagine. I don't know. I didn't check the dialogue. I don't think I noticed anything weird in the dialogue, but maybe I was just kind of trying to get through this.
I literally don't remember most of the episode except hating it, and then it was over.
She will tell your future, your fortune, your destiny, and your fate. It cost money, but it says, "Oh, I've got some gold. Remember, we got it from old Daisy Duke's dad's basement. Remember? Yay, the thievery! I'm so glad you stole from that old
I'm so
man, so you
glad.
can you can spend more time with his character. Our voices are so great."
I wish instead of a racist character, it was just a Homestar impression, and it was Homestar.
These guys don't know what that is. I bet you $100 million.
Yeah, but could
Them
you
Brits
imagine?
would never
though?
understand.
The Strawman was banned in Britain for what he said about them, and after this episode, I think he was right.
He was correct.
In the background, a chicken runs into a fire. Mr. Banjo goes, "No, my chicken!
Poor chicken.
Let that not dampen your spirits. It was probably the chicken's destiny." Simon doesn't read that, of course, because he only reads horrible dialogue. But Mr. Banjo is he's working so hard to save this episode. And for what?
Nothing for
Mr. Banjo,
nothing.
just get out of here. You've done your best. I mean, you haven't.
Mr. Banjo, come hang out with us instead. Fucking
It's
Jesus.
so fucked
Someone in the
up.
comments was speculating that Mr. Banjo might have been Zoe because of how fast he types,
Hell,
which I think is funny. I hope it was Zoe. That would be
I hope
awesome.
whoever was
Leave it
behind
to Zoe
this
to
so
fucking
happy.
leave it to Zoe to save the Yogscast as usual.
Yes, this is true, and this will be so true in the Black Rock
I
Chronicles
wish I
podcast.
was watching Black Rock right now. Let
Zoe's
me
the
tell you,
best.
Rithia never does this to me.
Oh.
Yeah, you're doing this for no reason, which is crazy. Old Peculiar is waiting for you. You just had to mercy kill an old woman. This lady seemed vaguely spiritual and knowledgeable, so you decided to get your fortune stole for fun. Which I guess I wouldn't mind if it wasn't this character.
this.
Yep.
Mr. Banjo's coaching Bruno get strong. There's a bunch of chests with ingredients which are all labeled in this awful attempt at
It's really
vernacular.
awful.
Oh.
It was so hard. It was just. Oh, on top of it being incredibly racist, it was just all over the place and made no sense. It was like so.
There was also a chest of, and there's another chest of drugs that they laugh at like schoolboys.
Yep. It was just like
they're in a
make
purple
it
strike
stop,
room.
make it
There's a
stop.
cauldron.
I wanted one of them to get exploded by something so the bit would stop.
Simon says he's having second thoughts about using this voice. That's crazy,
That's
man. I would have had
crazy.
second
Whoa.
thoughts when I was writing this.
Where's that one post where it's someone just like they were watching that one? I can't remember what movie it was, but it's the dog movie where like the scary human eyes is the post. I can't remember what it was. And they're like they were watching the sleepover and they were so over it they just ripped out a tooth so they could stop watching it.
What? I've
You know what
never
I'm
heard
talking
of that before.
that's Shaggy Dog.
Thank you. I was
So
like, do you remember which one?
Oh my god.
That's how I felt watching this. I was so done.
I did laugh when they asked Simon asked, "Are we giving it one at a time, or are our futures intertwined?" Wow, Yowie, that's so cool, guys.
I couldn't even appreciate.
I couldn't
the
even
art of
appreciate
Yowie.
the
I was
Yowie
so
in
upset.
these moments.
I
It's
didn't-
really not worth it.
Not now, Lewis. I'm suffering.
Damn, fucking Yowie, racism. This is just Dream SMP.
The
Yo!
worst part is that I did actually watch a little bit of those SMPs back in the day. That's my horrible burden to bear. The only difference these days is that they pretend not to be racist. Thumbs up!
Yeah, so they have to throw gold and they have to throw the ingredients. Simon complains, like, I thought we just need the gold. Now he's sending me all this crap. Which is like, they have to go and get all the ingredients. And Simon didn't even realize that the ingredients were in the chest. They thought it was completely pointless. And he's like, well, why do we have to fucking do it? Which, to be fair, yeah, I guess why doesn't she just have them with her? But it's to make this part interactive and fun.
I do like that she just has them in the room. It's like, okay, just give me the gold.
Now you do it, fucker.
Now you do it. And I'll tell you fucking thing.
They did it. They talk about how it sounds like she smokes cigarettes.
It just sounded like painful, like. And I was like, okay.
Yeah, and Luz asks how deep the cauldron is and hops up to look inside, and Simon's like, "Oh God, don't fall in. I might get boiled alive. You deserve it. Please,
This is what you get."
Just something to break up the fucking. If we could go down there and have like an adventure in Fish World, I'd love that. If we could do that instead.
Fish World. I think that would be really fun, everyone.
If you could just stay in the cauldron for the rest of the episode, and we could then leave.
Literally.
Yeah, I say she starts reciting some incantations, and Simon, fully adult man in control of his actions, is a bit racist.
Then
When
continues.
it's a bit racist, like.
And then he continues being racist even more so on his own accord.
So angry.
Oh.
I hope you get blown up.
Nabescu says, "Don't dwarf up my concoction," and I'm like, man,
Oh.
did she invent that term? Because that's a dark history, if so. That's really fucked up, because dwarfing it up is such like an iconic lexicon for the Yogscast. That's whenever Simon fucks it up. He waned it, essentially, for the
I
modern
thought
day.
they brought it up
Just to explain.
earlier. Maybe like
I
once
think I might have said it earlier, even though they didn't do it.
or something, but I hope. Sorry.
Yeah, but so the spirits start to speak through her, and Simon. A sheep wanders into the room, and Simon does actually do something funny. He's like, "Oh my God, it's a spirit!"
That was a really good bit.
First a cultist,
Yeah.
now a spirit. It's the
That
spirit.
was like
of the
one of
sheep. I
the
don't
two
think they
good
killed that
jokes.
sheep. It's true. And Madame Nubescu speaks, and he does a different voice when the spirits are speaking through her because it's different. And I guess thanks, man.
That's great, son.
Why can't you just keep
That's
it that
almost
voice?
kind of funny, I guess.
Just do anything else other than voice, only just because it
Could you
pisses
do
me
this
off.
the whole time and also tell whatever white British man is typing her dialogue to
Literally,
stop
I'm
doing
like,
that?
Whoever is playing Nabesco, your days are limited. Excuse me.
Yeah,
not much time left.
she says, "Do not mourn for your lost love." To Simon, this is his fortune. More bacon awaits you at your journey's end. And
He gets bitches.
and Simon's like, "Is that it? My fortune's you will get bacon. That's not a bad fortune. That is true."
His fortune is you will
I was
get
hoping
bitches.
they would say something more profound. Simon's voice is hurting for doing the awful racist voice, which is, I guess, only fitting.
It's a
It's
sign
your own
to
fault.
stop,
It's your
but he
own
doesn't
fault, Mr.
understand.
Lane.
He
You
cannot
show-
read.
And next is Luz's turn. You shall be met again by a man in blue and a man in red. Trust your heart and know they are not what they seem. He's got to take the red pill. The snowflakes would never let this episode be made.
See, you can never make this episode of Yogscast.
I
You can
literally-
never make this.
I
Dude,
literally was
good.
going through the comments by recent because I hate myself, and literally there was like at least 4 comments like,
Why would you
"Grr,"
do that? For a lot of reasons.
Because I was like, I wanted to see if anyone else was also in pain by this episode, and then I was like,
No
I
one
saw
who
one
would go back
comment
and
that
watch
was like,
this.
wow,
cared.
despite me liking, I think it was like, I like these guys, but this is really fucked up, and someone was commenting, Snowflake, go back to watching CBC, which is an incredibly bad retort, even if it
What
wasn't
is
CBC?
racist.
CBC?
I don't fucking know. So I was
I'm
How-
glad you thought it was a bad retort without knowing what it is.
because
How
it
early
sounds
was
like
this?
It reminds me of like CNN or whatever.
I don't think it's a. Stop watching Shadow of Israphel. Go watch CNN.
Which is
Go
like,
watch news. Get
Go watch
educated.
B-
like
go
that
watch
was
the
insane
BBC.
to me. 'Cause I know people are like, go watch CNN because you're a liberal. Or
Do
whatever
people?
the fuck
I
that
guess
is.
I don't know.
I guess they must have.
I
that.
guess
Well,
people do say
Uh,
that.
yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, they do say this. It's
But,
literally it's upsetting.
Yeah, then the spirits start speaking again. They have a message for a friend.
Did it weirdly? cut
So
here?
this
I
is
thought
why
it
this is
did.
plot important. A night, old but filled with life. That's him! That's him, Lewis! She means oh peculiar! That's the second good joke.
There we go.
It's not even a joke, really. It's just screaming. Loud equals funny.
Hey, definitely one of the better attempts at comedy in this episode.
Definitely,
The bar is so low, we're tripping on
his
it.
family has secrets, but he does not know. His father is not who he says he is. Israphel father theory confirmed!
That would be insane.
His father is secretly Israphel all along. And then she says, I don't know, the rest is unclear. Come back later. Oh boy, I can't wait to come back
I do
later.
not want to see you later. I would like to see you.
And then they
not
leave,
racist.
and the episode ends really flat like a wet fart.
That whole episode was flat and awful and bad.
It was really fucking bad. The carnival is cute and fun, but this character is just so... Like, man, it's one thing to have, like, fucking Arsler. Like, okay, yeah, fine, it's fucking 2011, whatever. But this is just fucking stomach churning to watch. This is a lot worse than your casual fucking 2000s internet fucking
dedicating
fucking
yourself.
butt farts, dude.
Literally. It's like that's beyond being just edgy for the thing. You're actively just being racist.
Yeah, my
It would
comments. Birch, do you have any old comments worth anything? No, you don't, do you?
I tried
Okay.
looking for some. I couldn't really find anything that was worth our time.
Yeah, a lot of comments talking about Lewis being racist because of what he said when he saw Madame Nubescu. Thanks for keeping it real.
Thanks, guys.
I don't know that a lot of them said like he was fucked up for it. I think they just said he was racist, which, you know, could just mean they're going, lol, he's so racist funny.
People going like, haha, lol.
There
this
is a
so
person
awkward.
talking about the Israphel father theory. It's popular. People like
That's
it.
true. People were talking about that in the old comments.
This is totally going to be a Luke, I am your father moment between Israphel and Peculiar.
I did see, like, I saw one old comment that said the first black character in this series and they're a racist caricature. And I was like,
God,
the
that
single-
based old commenter.
I know, I was like, you're the only one who gets it.
Really, really fucked up. Jesus. Fuck. There's this comment that's getting parasocial. Not really, but it made me laugh. Why do you guys keep me up till 2 a.m. when I'm supposed to be asleep? Love you guys. Keep up the good work.
That
Yeah, man.
what?
I don't think
That
they
was
deserve
such a
it on
nice
this
comment.
episode.
Why on this video?
I love the Madame Nubescu voice. It's so fucking funny. And, predictably, a lot of comments talking about how you couldn't do Madame Nubescu nowadays. You couldn't do it back then either. I think it's just that the standards for stupid internet video game make-believe show are a lot lower than, like, television or anything even slightly more popular. No, like, I think if you showed this to someone with standards in 2011, they'd go, that's pretty
That's
racist.
kind of racist.
I mean, Simon, like, says this is racist, so he's self-aware enough to say this is not okay.
But not self-aware enough to stop.
And somehow I doubt that these, like, World of Warcraft playing British men had a lot of, like, critical race theorists in their audience. I just don't think that a lot of the 12-year-olds watching this in 2011 really cared about this.
Yeah.
And I don't think a lot of the children being radicalized by Minecraft YouTubers today would care about this either.
Pain and suffering, the episode. Can we title this episode The Suffering or The Struggler?
I would definitely title it fuck.
Titling it just Fuck My Stupid Baka Life.
Fuck my stupid baka
Fuck
life.
my
Mr. Banjo and
stupid
nothing
Yogscast
else.
life.
Mr. Banjo
Fuck
and
my-
nothing else.
Mr. Banjo's racist carnival.
If
Is
it's,
it bad to put racist in your YouTube video title? Will I get like will I get weirdos?
How about we just do Mr. Banjo's Wild Ride? I think that's a nice little
It's
reference.
true.
No warning for anyone watching. Just Mr. Banjo's funny time.
Mr.
Banjo's
Banjo
funny
and
time.
nothing
time.
else happens in this episode.
I'm sorry, all
Well-
you people. Sorry to deal some damage to your nostalgia. You snowflakes.
oh my
It turns
god.
out that these old Minecraft YouTubers were racist as fuck.
I like this is a
Childhood ruin.
I'm imagining flaming text with the skeleton.
Get the flaming text in there.
Unrelated, when I first
Fine
heard,
boom.
when I heard Mr. Banjo, I was like, is this gonna be a Banjo and Kazooie reference? I don't know.
I wish.
That would have been
wish.
so
Like,
much
wow.
better.
It would have been funnier if Manobetsu's voice was.
Exactly.
Just a fucking go. That's kind of.
I would have been funnier if this whole episode was placed like all the noises were just Simon Lynch going.
Literally.
And that's how
Our
we'll
top-
speak
Be
in the
racist,
next
and you could be
episode.
Banjo and Kazooie.
Well, that's just about the most racist thing I ever saw. Yeah, and my last two comments are just it's a very popular theory. Israphel is Knight Peculiar's dad who got corrupted by the evil and did not actually manage to destroy the portal. O_O face. And last comment is, I'm thinking KP's dad is Israphel. It'll be like, KP, I am your father. XD, no!
I love the XD.
Thanks,
I'm
man.
glad they're
I really need these comments right now. But also, I don't know, your priorities here. I think everyone in the comments should have been like kind of silently judgmental.
I really agree. It's like, that wasn't very funny. And you should
Hopefully
be
we
embarrassed.
never have to talk to Madanubescu ever again. Just move on.
Sorry.
The highest of highs and the lowest of lows.
Literally went from, wow, what a crazy dramatic episode. Granny got killed. What the hell?
It's truly like a
to,
great
oh,
episode, and then
yep,
probably the worst
Oh.
episode we've ever watched.
emotional roller
That's
coaster.
racism from my comfort characters.
Where's the
Oh.
one image where
The
it's,
Yogscast are not my comfort characters. Let me just tell you that right now.
it's the one image
And
with
it's
SpongeBob?
because of bullshit like this.
It's so like, why would you do this to me? Anyway.
What's that thing you're talking about, Word?
Oh, I was like, it's the one SpongeBob image with the fish guy looking in the toilet.
Yeah,
It's like,
that's
yep.
what I mean. Yeah, this was just like, oh boy, Adam Nubescu, how great. Nubescu, not a name and doesn't mean anything, by the way. I don't know
keep
where they
reading
got
it
that
as
name.
Dimitrescu.
I was really curious about like, I don't know if that is like really important at all for this, but they did just name her after gibberish.
Because of course they would.
God.
Okay. I had a bit that I wanted to fit in, but there is just no natural place to fit it in. So I think I'm just gonna like describe my bit and totally like deflate it. Cause this, okay. You know, operating off the assumption, we all agree, this episode very racist, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
just something to me that like just sounds, I don't know. In a caricaturial world, in a comedic farce, I would love to see just like the behind the scenes of this God, like this like the deep research they did into being able to illustrate Madame Jamascu the fucking way they did. Like you know how artsy films really like love just breathing in the whole, this has taken so much effort. We've had to explore this character. We've explored the background. We've done so much research. I would love to see
I
them.
lived in a cave for 3 years to prepare.
Exactly. It's so I would want to see
You can
them
really
just
see
like,
just how deep and layered her portrayal is. The way that she talks like Grimm from Adventures of Billy and Mandy.
Yeah.
how would they defend this? I don't think they could.
I need
Next
them
fucking
to-
Jingle Jam's coming up. Let's go on. And say, hey,
Yeah,
You need
remember
some- you,
Madame
like,
Nubescu? What do we think about
Can you
that?
set yourself on fire for this, just for a little bit?
Just for a tiny bit.
Well, with that, I think that's an emphatic ending to this episode. Hopefully, just for the record, Ross basically said everything that we said.
Yep.
Very much like just did a note where it's like a bit racist. Putting it at 2 times speed. I don't have time for this.
Literally.
Apparently, they were pausing a lot because of how bad it was,
This is...
and eventually. They did say in all caps, "Oh, peculiar!" when he was mentioned, because we just want to hang out with fucking
Well,
old peculiar. I don't want
Peculiar,
to hang
that's all
out with
we
this
want.
guy. Bro, fucking Strawman Bruno's gonna turn into a zombie, and Master Banjo's gonna turn out to be a cultist.
No!
That's the spoiler.
It's whatever. Who even cares anymore? What if we all just blew up? What if we all just had TNT and blew up?
The end of this
I'll just
episode is a
find
bit of
those,
a
oh,
wet
thank
fart
fuck.
because of the nature of it.
Yeah, a bit of a fart in the crumbling.
I think this was epic.
Well, it was not, Lewis. It was not epic. This was not epic at all. It's fucking god. Oh, thanks everyone
Thanks,
for
everyone.
enduring. I hope we all can come away from this
I
a
feel
little more
like
educated.
the Mountain
The
Yes.
Goats.
lesson today is that you shouldn't write a racist depiction of a black woman
I
in
really
your
hope it's not a.
Minecraft Let's Play.
I really hope it's not a Yogscast podcast where you first learned that. Please, please don't let this be news to
Please
you.
don't.
If
don't
you
let
learn
this
from
be
me,
you.
well,
I hope for your sake that you forgot that Madame Nubescu existed and are like quietly horrified right
Yeah.
now. I hope
Yeah.
that's my
Release your
ideal
apology
Sorry.
video now.
release the hounds.
We want to make a video on it. Thank
Yeah,
you.
if you make it, we'll make
Alright.
a podcast episode
We'll
about
meet
it.
up. We'll meet up in
Response
real life for this.
video.
We'll meet up in
We'll
real life.
do
for
a
this.
real life podcast.
I'll pay for
We'll
the
Use
tickets.
your
We'll go
Twitch
to, like,
channel.
I don't actually. Which house are we going to? We set up in like some random church for like the discussion of the new apology.
We're in a
video.
church.
I don't know. I felt appropriate.
Disgustingly off. It just definitely feels like one of those videos that I would see, like, recommend, like, Sips talks about the shit in the situation, or Lewis talks about Shadow of Israphel, or Strippin talks about the Yogscast drama,
And it's
or
only 20
something. It would
seconds.
just be like, Simon addresses the Nubescu controversies. God. You know, Jiggle Jab's coming up. I don't know how... really bring down the mood saying, remember when you guys were racist
Merry
in Minecraft
Christmas,
15
you're
years ago?
racist!
Here's $100 for the charity. Remember when you were racist? Let's talk about that.
We're really good at being. We're
This
really
is our
fun.
third like fake outro. Let's do it now for real. Goodbye everyone.
Bye. We love you. Bye.